Yeah, welcome to our channel, Project MR Gaming. I'm Art, and yeah, Loki is somewhere here under the table and sleeping, so everything is fine. So I want to tell you something about the start or the beginning of King Under the Mountain, and yeah, want to give you some tips and hints how you can survive the very first winter, because I found out the hard way that this game is not as easy as it seems, and it has a lot of um, deep mechanisms you have to cover. So first off, we start with the start position, which is quite obvious. So if you have to select your start position, try to find a place where you are near the river, near the mountain, you have some space, and at least some trees. So this is a good start point I found. And yeah, then we come to the management of your settlers. You should always try to have at least 3 farmers in the beginning, and try to separate these jobs quite easy, so or balanced in this point, so you can at least cover each of the um, workers and their duties. So like I said, 3 farmers is quite good. So now we come to the requirements each dwarf at this position has. Each dwarf needs to sleep, he needs something to eat and something to drink. So we can start off with drinking. So drinking is quite easy. So if there is no barrel with water here, like here in the kitchen, each dwarf will then simply go to the river and drink from it directly if he's thirsty. So this can be quite a long way, because it depends on your start position, where the river is and where your main base of operation will be. So this can take quite some time, so it's always good to have a kitchen with water. Or in the very beginning, if you have quite long range to the water, what you can always do, maybe as a tip, you can create a really small kitchen, and you can simply place a water barrel here. And yeah, then one dwarf will fill this barrel, and all other dwarfs will drink directly from it, and you can save a lot of time um, traveling through your base to the river. So now we come to the next one. This is sleep. So each dwarf wants to sleep, which basically is working. They can sleep everywhere. So they will also sleep in the ground, outside, in the rain, in the snow, even if it's cold. So yeah, it just doesn't matter. They will always sleep when they are tired, which is maybe not the best if they sleep in the snow in the cold. So as you can see here, all dwarfs have some happiness level, and depending on where they need to sleep. So if they sleep outside and it's raining, so you get a lot of um, yeah maleficent stats, and the happiness will go to the um, minus area. And after I'm not really sure where the threshold is, but after a threshold, the dwarfs will go berserk, and will do nasty stuff. So in the best case, they will simply smash something and destroy a water barrel or something. This is good if they do this, but in the worst case, they will punch and hurt another dwarf, which can also lead to the death of the dwarf. This is what happened to me during the first playthrough. Wasn't fine, because well, then you lose a dwarf, and everyone is more upset because they see a dead body, and then you are in a place where you don't want to be. So yeah, always try to make them happy. So regarding sleep, so what I did in this place, I always try to create some room in the mountain. So this is the very first thing I do. I create a 2 and 3 tiles large bedroom, and I delegate them a place where they can sleep. So this is the very first thing. So as you can see, so this is a sleeping spot. Yeah, they will still sleep on the ground, so as you can see, they are still upset about it. But they do sleep in an enclosed bedroom, so what you also need to do is to create wood doors. And yeah, then they are quite happy. So as you can see, they always start with 20 happiness, which is quite okay for the beginning. Yeah, now we come to the farms. I always create three tiles for the spots. I find this sufficient for the beginning, as it's yeah not that large, and your farmers don't have that much to do. Because yeah, I also did the fail in the beginning in my first playthrough. So what I did was something like this. So I created really large farm spots because they don't cost anything, and I had much room. So I said, yeah, bigger is better. It's always better if you have a bigger spot. And yeah, then I decided to go with such large tiles because I had the space. The problem is that in the very first beginning you just have, I think, 16 seeds of each resource. This is then quite good because they can just plant 16 seeds. So your farmers won't have that much to do. But after the first um, yeah, playthrough where the resource is done and fully grown and they harvest it, you get more and more seeds. So you then just don't have 16, but maybe 20 and 25 or 30 seeds. And your farmers begin to uphold the larger part of it. And in the end, I had like 5 farmers, and the farmers were doing nothing else but to farm, which was not good because everything else in the base was then on hold, and nothing could be done because the farmers were busy. And I also had 2 dead dwarfs. One was because he died of starving. I had not enough food, and and the other one was beaten to death by another uh, berserker dwarf. Yeah, was not fun. So, like I said, try to do the smaller things. I start always with 5 resources in the beginning. I start with carrots, I start with corn, I start with potatoes, and I start with tomatoes. Basically, because these resources and these vegetables can be put directly on the table and put into a soup, and your dwarfs can then eat vegetable soup. Maybe it's also possible to mix it with fish, so they can get a fish with vegetable soup. And yeah, this, like I said, should be sufficient. What I also do in the beginning is to plant hemp. Hemp is quite necessary because with hemp you can create clothes later on in where is it? Zones in the textile workshop. Then you can create clothes, and with this clothes you can then create beds. And with this bed, also this mallows will be obsolete, and the dwarves will be even happier. So this is the next thing I want to do here, is to create beds for them, as they are already quite happy. Like I said, so with this resource, I start to fish immediately. So the first thing you then need for fishing, you need to create a sawmill, chop some wood, and create a carpentry workshop, and this carpentry will provide you with fishing rods. And then you are good to go with fishing. As you can see, I have a lot of fish. So until now, they don't go bad or waste at any time. I'm not sure if this can happen because we are in the middle of the summer and the fish is simply lying there on the ground. I'm not sure if I would eat it, but in this game it doesn't seem to be a problem. So the fish don't get bad, and you can cook it, and your dwarfs can eat it. And so in the summer, so now I can also start with harvesting my tomatoes mid of the summer, as I did already with the carrots. And so I have a kitchen where I have butchery workshop, and yeah, a kitchen worktop. And with this, I cook soup for my dwarfs. And yeah, here I have this feasting hall where my dwarfs can eat. And so this is my beginner's guide. I hope it helped you in a way. So with this setup, we are quite good to go for the first winter until we get our first dwarfs. And yeah, maybe I will continue with additional more advanced guides later on. But for the beginning, I think this should be a good start for each of you. Have fun with this game. I really like it. It has, yeah, it still is in an alpha, so it will, yeah, change a lot in the future. I've only seen a little bit of the roadmaps the developers plan. So it's really interesting and funny, and it's really hard, for my opinion. So you can make a lot of bad decisions, I guess, in the beginning. So this is my guide for it to at least help you with the start. So goodbye.